Okay, looks like we're back live again here. Thank you all for tuning in. Our topic right now, there are two items that we want to do. One, give everybody a little update on Nii Nee, his court date, and I'm just doing some invites on here. His court date is on the 8th and 9th, which I believe is Thursday and Friday. There are reportedly several people who are able to go out there to sit in the court case with Nii Nee. And again, that is in Salina, Kansas. So if you have any friends or family, certainly any two-leggeds, which the American natives prefer to be called. So if you know any two-leggeds that are near or would like to support Nii Nee, and they should, I mean, his own people should be supporting him out there, then please have them check him out there in Salina, Kansas. I was hoping that our brother Lawrence could be on the broadcast. Thank you, Edward, for joining back in. But I haven't heard from Lawrence today. And his other friend, Stephanie, who could be a real good witness. I haven't heard from her in about a week or two. I know she's been really busy, has a lot of things going on. Nii Nee, for those of y'all who don't know, is standing up as the sovereign individual, the two-legged, a Native American that he is, or Native, not even American at that point. He is a Dii Nee. So I want to try to be respectful and honor and mention that. So as a Nii Nee, he and the Nii Nee people are sovereigns in their own right, both individually and as a community of people, just like you and I, as Americans, in my case, we have been identified and we are known in law as the sovereigns in the United States of America and within each state. The law states that you and I, we are the sovereigns. It's not the city, county, state, and federal government, which I've been telling you for a long time. So anyway, that's what Nii Nee is standing up for in part. Nii Nee he was traveling from Colorado to New York and traveling and seeing some friends along the way. As a lot of people know that in New York, California, marijuana is legal out there, and especially for the two-legged natives out there. They have the right to grow as much as they want and give whatever amount of marijuana they want, medical or otherwise, as medicine to their friends or anybody they choose to that maybe they think they need some medicine. And in that case, and under that, Nii Nee had been given from someone in California a pound or so of marijuana. So not necessarily the wisest thing to be going across country here with, but as a two-legged Nii Nee, it's fine because it's lawful under federal law and everything else. So nothing should have been happening to him because of that. The state of Kansas is saying the laws do not apply to the state of Kansas. They're saying that to the whole part. And then they standing up and saying that, number one, he is a sovereign individual and he is a sovereign Dii Nee of the Nii Nee tribe, and they do not have any jurisdiction over him, all of which are true. And in doing that, he has voiced and declared and decreed that he's standing up for the rights of not only himself, but all two-legged natives and all American people so similarly situated. So Nii Nee's case is really one of the more important cases, if not the most important case, going on in this country right now. If the people in Oregon and Nevada and Colorado would support and have stepped in and listened to part of this, I think they had been in a lot better shape. And again, I want to put out there, even in their current statuses, some are filing suits against the government now that they were found rightfully and lawfully not guilty of anything. So they're filing charges against the federal government and the FBI, is my understanding. In doing so, they should, and I'll say it again, be filing not only on behalf of themselves, but all people so similarly situated. Because the federal government, the state government, city, county, and the whole ball of wax of them are doing the same thing illegally and unlawfully against all people within the country and the boundaries and borders of the United States of America. So I think that's one of the best things they could do. Hey, Tony, how are you? So anyway, I'd like for the people to support Nii Nee. At least tune in. We will be doing some broadcasts if we can on Thursday and Friday, and hopefully we'll at least get some updates and update you and let you know how the case is going on. He has been assigned a lawyer, which he did not want. Nii intends to fight this case on his own, but since a lawyer is being forced upon him, he is using that lawyer only as a reference and for assistance with the processes, the court processes and procedures. It does sound like this lawyer, number one, has stated that he's really impressed with Nii Nee. Nii Nee is very smart, knows what he's doing, and is exactly adhering to the law. And it sounds, and the lawyer said he wasn't a believer at first, but now he certainly is on exactly what Nii Nee is doing. The state of Kansas saying, well, we're not going to hear the sovereignty issue. You're not in here as a Nii Nee. How can he not be? And under this, and what I've told a few people that his lawyer should know, is that as a Nii Nee and as a sovereign individual or both, they are not going to be able to put up a jury or find a jury of his peers. Another piece and major piece, and this is the bullseye, is that once they pick a jury, the first thing they do, the first question they ask all jury members before they even come in and start asking them any other questions to see if they even qualify. The first question they always ask and have to ask is, are you a U.S. citizen? Now everybody goes, yeah, are one of those. So as a citizen, again, you are saying and consenting to be a subject of the federal or state government. And as a subject, they can tell you what to do. They can claim they claim they can tell you what to do. They claim they can force you to follow whatever rules, laws, and regulations they want to force upon you, which, as we're learning, is only color of law, which means, number one, it's a lie because it's not the law, but they're going to tell you it is, and they're basically going to hold a gun to your head until you go, oh, okay. So anyway, all this stuff is totally unlawful and illegal. But it's done every day, and this is what Nii Nee is standing up against. And so again, he's standing up for you and me and for all people so similarly situated. And again, I am still ashamed that some of the clan mothers of the Navajo or any of them are not standing up and showing up for trial to stand by with Nii Nee. You know, he should have a whole nation standing up with him in Salina, Kansas on Thursday and Friday. Personally, I think they're a bunch of wimps. They want to claim their own sovereignty. They talk about it. They give lip service. But when they have one man that's putting it all on the line for them, they do not know him. So it's just like the founding fathers of America said, when the government becomes so despotic and those who turn your back on the Constitution get behind us because we do not know you. Hey, David, let me see if I can read some of these notes. How to file a complaint, including criminal charges. Okay, Edward. Within 120 days. That's good information. Thank you. And then he talks about the bar agents. I can't see real well, so I won't read it all. But Edward always makes some constructive comments here, and he does his own broadcasts, I believe. But he puts out a lot of good law for everyone. So pay attention to what Edward Johnson does. And David down here does a real good job too. All right, so we'll let that go on the Nii. Support him any way that you can. I will get some broadcasts out one way or another on Thursday and Friday. I cannot be there in court. I'd love to be there in court with him. If anybody wants to make contributions to the cause to get me out there, make some contributions, and I will get there one way or another. But anyway, that would be a beautiful thing. That would be so beautiful because I know how to stand up and when to stand up. I'm not going to say more than that. But anyway, bless you all. Thank you for tuning in on that. The other piece too, and we have our dear old friend and call in, and she does double broadcast with us at time, Marie. Marie's way out there in the boonies by herself, but she's working hard and to educate the American people, stand up for the Constitution, the rule of law. And she brought up a very good point today and a concern dealing with Facebook standards. And evidently now, and I'll let Marie say something about it just a minute because I won't get it all correct. But if you're making comments about Russia and Prussia and some other countries over there, Facebook is blocking it because they have made some corporate decisions, corporate standards that they are imposing upon their users. Now, on the one hand, they have they're going to claim it's a right, but it's not. And I tell you why. Because number one, they're a corporation. Corporations do not have rights. They only have granted privileges and immunities, so they classify them as rights, but they're not like rights like what you and I have, okay? So they're claiming and using this right to basically filter and discriminate and limit your freedom of speech. So that's the other side of the coin. So I'm going to turn it over just a minute here to Marie. It sounds like she had made some posts. I'll let her tell you just briefly what some of those posts were and what countries or whatever they addressed. And then Facebook came up and then they blocked all her users and maybe the reports, I'm not sure. So Marie, how about tuning in here if you can and give us a little short and brief update of what you ran into and you discovered.
Oh, okay. Because we've done all the stuff about my family history, my heritage, okay? The earliest report that we can find that about 4 children that came over on a ship, and it came over from Prussia.
Okay.
So, and this was after the Constitution that my heritage family, blood family, came over from Prussia. Now, these 4 children, there was nobody on the ship manifest. That may lead to another discussion, but there was nobody on the ship manifest that was a parent to these 4 children, okay? These children didn't have a parent on the ship.
Yeah.
So we don't know how these children survived. One of them was only about 6 months old, and the oldest, I think, was 7 years old.
Okay.
How did 4 children survive on a ship from Prussia to America? I've always been left with this question. So my heritage family doesn't come from the United States. We came from Prussia.
Okay.
Okay. So I've done a lot of posts about Prussia and Russia because Prussia used to be part of Russia or vice versa, and so did Crimea. Okay, and Persia. I mean, there were a lot of things that I posted. Some of them were Britannica sites. You know, they weren't all about DuckDuckGo or anything. I posted actual sites where I found information. Okay.
Okay. So Marie, so you were making all these posts about these things due to family history and other things, and what happened?
It was just like an investigation that I was inviting people to help me to investigate because, you know, I have a lot of questions and I don't have many answers, especially from governments, okay?
Okay, so what happened from Facebook? What did they do?
Well, some of those sites, were working fine and people were making comments and this, that, and the other. And then I posted something about I was going to lay down for a while because I've had 11 back surgeries, okay, and I don't do well sitting up for a long period of time. When I opened my laptop again, I looked at, you know, the posts that I had made, you know, ongoingly from, you know, one point to another or whatever. And I saw some of these comments still, okay, but then there were certain postings that I had made where it seemed like there were anybody commenting anymore where there used to be comments.
So some of the comments, a lot of the comments disappeared and went away?
So I closed down the laptop for a little while again because I figured, well, you know, sometimes Facebook has problems, I guess, with their employees catching up with things because sometimes things take a couple of days before you see comments that came from other people. I don't know. I'm not real technical. I don't know all the terminology. I'm probably not the smartest crayon, okay, in the box or the brightest or whatever. You know, I admit my faults.
Okay, so did you get any statements from Facebook? Did you get any messages, or things just disappeared?
At one point, there was this humongous thing, okay, that it was so humongous, and before I could even, you know, fully read it, it's like it disappeared. I couldn't use my snippet tool to make a copy of it or anything like that because it just kind of melted, okay?
What did it say?
I really don't know. I didn't get to read it in fullness, okay, before it melted.
Okay, so...
And I know it says something about Facebook standards.
Oh, okay. So they said something about Facebook standards, which may have been a reason, and I want to be fair to Facebook right now because we're not really clear on exactly what happened, but it sounds like some things did kind of disappear as far as comments. And up front, I've seen that as well. They're going through a lot of things, you know, making changes to their software. Like you're pointing out, they're changing and setting some corporate standards, which on the one hand is a really good and needed thing in a lot of cases, or in some cases. But it's also could be, and I'm not saying it is, but could be a little bit discriminatory or let's say selective, and may border or actually violate right of free speech, but we don't know that, so I don't want to really put that out there, but those are some possibilities. But it does sound like you did get a message or several from Facebook putting you on notice that they have implemented some standards, And I think I talked to another friend today who's alluded to some of that. We were talking about the stock, and I cannot go too much longer here because my battery's going to die.
Okay.
But yeah, some of that stuff is going on. So on Marie's behalf, and I'm losing battery here real quick, but maybe we'll just watch out. Facebook's giving a good public service here. So none of us are perfect, including Facebook, in all fairness. But they are implementing some standards. Let's watch, see what's going on, and we'll see if we can help them be a better corporate person that they are, if they may be a little bit astray or we need some assistance. So would that be good and fair for you to hear?
Oh yeah, I even went as far as using DuckDuckGo, and I put just like things like standards.
Okay. So we're just because I got to cut this off here before I totally bomb out. So we're going to watch and monitor Facebook a little bit. Again, thank them for the good public service they're doing. I want to say that in all honesty. And we're not perfect, but we need to keep an eye on each other. And that's the American way, and they are an American company. So bless you all. We're going to sign off before I bomb off here. And y'all have a good night.